guys, welcome to Old Head Young Minds, episode 16. I'm Robert Penner.
I am Allison Fine.
And we have no idea what we're talking about today, but we'll start.
We also don't know. We also don't know when this is coming out at this point. So
Yeah.
at this point,
I think it's like
we're a fucking
getting
mess.
into October-ish. Mid-October.
Yeah. So
This is the last day of September here as we're recording. But
yeah, we're recording this on September 30th.
So tomorrow, Billy Joe Armstrong can sing
What does that mean?
"Wake Me Up When September Ends."
Oh, yeah.
Wake me up.
Because October is the best month of the year.
It pretty much is.
Do you want to know why?
Because it's your birthday.
Oh, I thought you were going to say because the playoffs happened.
Also, it's this year's. It's my. I'm Mr. October this year in the dad calendar.
Do you want to remind them about that? I don't know if you even talked about.
My buddy's done dad bod calendars for 3 years in a row. Proceeds end up going to St. Jude's, and I've done it 3 times. And this year I'm October. I'm like Captain Spaulding. I might post I'll post a photo in this episode.
Oh yeah, you should.
Yeah,
That's dope. And then we could post a picture of whatever we do for my birthday.
yeah.
So today's the 30th of September. This will probably come out. The reason I said that we don't know when it's coming out is because yesterday when I was working on some stuff at home, I realized my computer wasn't charging. And so I was like, oh, okay, what's going on with the charger? But it's not the charger. It's my computer. So
Oh, no.
it's the charging port, I'm guessing.
Are they able to salvage anything? Like it's in
Well,
the
yeah,
cloud
I
and
mean,
shit
I'm
like
going to
that?
take it in tomorrow to Apple. I have an appointment for tomorrow, and I'm guessing it'll be covered or whatever. I mean, my computer's 4 years old, so I guess in a year or so, I'm due for a new computer anyways, but
Okay.
That's annoying.
Yeah.
So just because I'm the one that puts the podcast out,
Yeah.
so we don't know when our episode 14 is going to come out.
Okay.
So we might have a little delay in episodes, but by the time you hear this, all will have been fixed.
Yeah.
So this will come out, I don't know, probably end of October sometime.
Yeah.
But my birthday was, I guess, October 2nd.
Oh, that's great.
And I would love
Your
to
birthday.
say that it was a really great time, but I don't know that that's what will happen because the Seahawks are playing on my birthday. Fuck.
The only
those
good
guys.
thing that could have happened if they were playing the 49ers and then like the 49ers
That would've been dope.
stomp them.
Right.
Like,
No, I mean, just even the game that day
Yeah.
would have been cool, but
yeah.
they're playing the fucking Giants, so
And
whatever.
This happens to be Monday night.
Yeah, it's just Monday Night Football, and my birthday's on a Monday night. I also, I guess we're into You Good, so.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of are. Are you good?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm going to assume that my birthday goes well. This is a tough time of year just because I have some ups with my birthday and my comedy anniversary, which, funny story, I don't even know if we talked about this last episode, but I thought my comedy anniversary was the 29th of September. And then I was looking through my Facebook memories and I realized it's the 28th.
It was wrong.
So my comedy anniversary
funny.
and then my birthday are a couple days apart. But then on 5 days later, on the 7th, is the anniversary of my stabbing. So
Right.
it's a really weird week for me every year now. Also, like, I do a lot for other people. Like, I go out of my way to, like, try and celebrate my friends when I can and take care of other people. And, like, people don't usually come through for me. So, like, I'm just going to hope by the time you hear this that, like, someone surprised me and I had an amazing birthday and I didn't even think about my stabbing. That's not going to happen. But like, I hope that October has been good so far by the time we hear it.
Yeah, hopefully so.
By the time we hear it. Other than that, right now, am I good? Yeah, it was kind of cool. So I didn't have a show on my pretend anniversary, the 29th. I didn't have a show to do. So I talked to Casey McLean.
Yeah.
Nobody likes that guy. But I talked to Casey McLean, and he was doing a charity show for a fan a comedy fan named Bob Springer and his wife Nikki. They follow a bunch of local comics. They go to all their shows. They're very supportive. And Bob has cancer.
Oh man.
And so I don't know if Nikki reached out to Casey or how that works, but they did a charity show last night out in Aberdeen. And
so far for you.
What?
That's far.
It was far. It was my first time in Aberdeen.
Oh, was it?
Shout out to Jeremiah Hughes. That's his hometown.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful day. I drove with Casey. I just offered to volunteer to help with whatever they needed. And then it was very cool because it was Casey, Robert Cashmore, Narn Van, Lynette Manning, myself, and then Mike Hansen came and Casey gave all of us 15 minutes. Like he treated me like an equal, which was very cool of him. Cool. So we also did this thing at the end. It was kind of a dueling piano style roast, like to raise more money. We handed out these 3x5 cards and people could put who they wanted to roast to. So like, actually Robert's wife, wanted Narin to roast Robert, and then she paid money for that. And so we raised about a little over $200 just for the roasting part.
Such a unique idea.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I like that idea.
It was really fun. And it's Casey's concept. I don't know where he got the comedy style, but like dueling pianos, have you ever seen?
Yeah.
So you pay money to get the song you want, right? So it was kind of that theme, and it was super fun. Like, and then Bob came up himself, and he roasted the comics, not me, and not Lynette, but he roasted all the dudes. Nikki was up there. It was just a great time.
Yeah, cool.
I had never met this couple, but obviously, you know, they love all these comics that I love, and they were very kind. The crowd is it was a very good time. I got to host the roast part, so that was fun. But it was also sobering because when I met them and we're talking, I'm like, oh, do you guys have kids? They have like an 18-year-old and like a 12-year-old. And then I was like, oh, how old are you? To Bob. And he was like 44. Dang. And knowing that, you know, a few days later I was going to turn 45, that was very sobering.
Yeah.
Because he is very sick. He is very sick. He doesn't eat. He's on a feeding tube. Yeah, it's a lot. So that was very sobering, which, you know, again, you're going to hear this episode end of October. And it's just with all the stuff end of September, early October, that's weird for me. The goods, the bads, you know, whatever. It was just a stark reminder of like being lucky to be alive and for the most part healthy. Also, like, I guess in the you good category, the last couple of years I've had some weird dizzy spells, which I just thought were kind of normal. I don't know. I just thought I was getting older, or maybe I hadn't eaten that day. I always kind of attribute it to low blood sugar. Even though I don't have diabetes, I don't eat a lot. So I always assume I'm just hungry. And then I started having some weird phenomenon where like food that should not or usually isn't spicy to me was spicy.
Oh, wow.
Like ketchup, toothpaste is spicy. And I was talking to a comics girlfriend about it at a show, and she was like, oh, you might be anemic. And I was like, oh, no, I'm definitely anemic. I've been anemic since I had my gastric bypass in 2012. And so I know that I have iron issues as it is. And she goes, if you already know that, you need to go get your blood work done. So I went and got my blood work done. And I'll just say this, my whole iron, the range is supposed to be like 52 to 150. Mine was 12. So,
that's not a good percentage.
Yeah, it's not a good number. And so on the 25th of September, again, probably a month ago at this point, I got an iron infusion.
Okay.
Interesting enough, though, the nurse at the clinic was like looking at all my other numbers and was like, I don't know why we're not giving you a blood transfusion. Like your hemoglobin, your hemocrit, you're like, all of these things are low. So I had my blood, you know, the iron infusion takes about a week or two for your blood cells to start regenerating. Hopefully that'll make me feel better. Hopefully that will resolve some of these issues. And actually, by the time the episode comes out, I will have just gone back to the doctor to kind of check in, do some more blood work. But I'll tell you, nothing makes you feel older than, do I need to make an appointment to do blood work? And they're like, no, you have a standing order.
A standing order?
That means you could just go in whenever go in and give the blood work whenever. Yeah, that's cool.
Well, you're old enough.
That's cool. I mean, so overall, I'm good. In October, I already have a bunch of shows lined up, and especially some stuff coming up in November that I'm looking forward to. Yeah. And maybe we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I got a lot of stuff going on. Just a lot of weird stuff. I'm good. I guess it's rare that I'm not good. So it's just kind of how I handle my life. But anyways, you good?
I'm pretty good. Yeah, I think it's the same thing. Like, I'm good overall. There's just stuff going on, but nothing outweighing the overall. I've been a little bit busy this week with baseball going on. Went to a couple of games this week and did trenchers this week, which was my first time doing that with all the knitters in the corner. Yeah, so you want to explain trenchers? Because it's a pretty unique show. It's a bar, and
it's a bar in Renton.
Washington, and there's do they come there every Tuesday? Is that what?
Yeah, trenchers is every Tuesday.
No, I'm saying the knitters are there every day.
They're there every Tuesday.
Yeah, so there's a group of women that, or I guess I don't know. Well, there wasn't any men there, but there's a group there that knit, and they're a knitting group, and yeah, so they were there. A couple other people, and then there was actually kids in the back room, and Ashton was up. Shout out to Ashton, and he said like a kid joke as they were walking. It was nothing crazy. Just like something about beating your kid or something. I don't know.
They were in that new room. Well, you've never been there, but the room to the right or the
when you walk in, right when you walk in, all the way to the left.
That's a new room. They didn't have that before.
They had it curtained off, and they were there when we got there, and then they must have been leaving. Anyway, and then it's like a weird. I guess the weird part of it is the stage is behind the bar, and it's elevated there, like at bar level.
That's your first time, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think of it?
I'm okay with it. I like it. I don't know if it's different.
I like trenchers.
Yeah.
Somebody described it as like an open mic for comics in some ways. I mean, for an open mic for like veteran comics, because it's not an open mic, it's a show, right? But it's every week. The sets are usually longer. There's always some kind of an audience there, but it can be a rough room.
Yeah.
So it's not an open mic, but it is a weekly thing, a regular thing. It's been around for a long time, and it can be tough there. Now, that said, like, knock on wood, I've never had a shitty set there.
Okay.
It can be hard to like overcome the crowd.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people who are like, man, trenchers was tough tonight.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
I think it's fun.
It was fun.
I love that stage. So the stage, we can't even explain it. Like, there's a bar, and then the people who work behind the bar are, behind the bar. And then the stage is behind them, and I guess that's the trench.
Yeah.
So I like it.
Is that what they call it, trenchers?
I would assume.
that's kind of cool. I never thought about that. Yeah. So did that. Baseball went with the Katie and Corey on baseball on Monday, and my lady Alyssa, and because Corey's birthday was the Wednesday, so it was for them. Shocked them with how good tickets we had, and they didn't realize I got really good tickets close up third base. And then Wednesday went with Joe Gomez, who was on the pod earlier. Shout out to Joe again. Good hookup on tickets.
You went with Joe and who else?
It's his buddy, Marcus.
Oh, so not our Marcus.
No. Okay. Yeah, it's a buddy, Marcus. And not our Marcus. I made that mistake. We know two Marcuses in the thing, and I went up to one of them. I went, oh, am I going with you? Yeah, I was a wrong Marcus. I went up to one time. Just been working steady at this one job and that and comedy. Did some comedy there and comedy everywhere. And we had a writing session the other night, and that was good. Want to say that, it was good. You came over and helping me with this joke that's been on my heart for a while, and
So the Open Mic Collective on Thursdays, we're trying to do writing sessions, right? Just to give context. And it's open to anybody. So if you want to do it, we do it 2 nights a month at Rob's house and 2 nights a month online. So if you're available and you want to just run some new jokes or get tags, I'm glad you thought it was awesome.
I know. You didn't.
Nobody helped me with my shit.
I know. I don't know what to help you with. You're too...
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's your joke was brand new and you're just developing it. Mine's a developed joke and I need tags.
Yeah.
So I went through my whole spiel and was like, this is what I need. And everybody was like,
crickets.
And I was like, okay, you guys think about it and get back to me if you have a tag. Cool. Nuk, are you, just real quick, we're at Stay Hydrated Studios here in Tacoma, Washington. Our producer, NuqNuk, as always, we love him. I've been actually listening to our podcast, which I wasn't doing before. I don't know why. I guess I was a little self-conscious about it. Wasn't sure. Like, what if I hate it?
Yeah.
We spent all this money and time. But I fucking love it. Like, I really think, talk about you good. This podcast is good.
Yeah.
Honestly. Like, I listen to, I don't know, 5 or 6 podcasts on a regular basis. Some local, some not. And I think that we're doing a really great job.
Yeah.
I think we have some cool guests. The production is great. But I did tell, before we started today, I told NuqNuk I hated him because I'm like, I feel like we have to be with you forever now.
Yeah.
Because his production is so good.
Yeah.
We sound so good. I don't sound so good today.
And he's good. Like,
right,
he's good as a person.
And he's so good.
All right. But are you good today?
Yeah. Are you good?
I'm just sleepy. That's my life. Just being sleepy now.
You're sleepy. Mm-hmm. Oh, that baby's keeping you up, huh?
Baby makes a lot of noises.
A lot of noises.
Just sounds. He don't even be crying. He's just.
Does your younger daughter still hate him?
No, she's in love.
Oh, we've had a change of heart. That was the one that used to be like, nah, I'm cool, right? On kids.
She wasn't having it.
Are they helpful?
Yeah, they always want to help take care of him.
Oh, that's good then. Put them on night shift.
Nah, you gotta sleep right next to my face.
Oh, do you guys have him in your bed?
Nah. He has his own little
Just
bassinet.
in your room, like in the bassinet?
Yeah.
Mm. He sent us a picture of him this week.
Yeah.
His son is very cute.
Very cute.
He's okay.
Shut up, bro.
Does not look like
He's
him at all.
hella cute. He's hella cute. But yeah, he's what, 2 months?
Yeah, 2 months.
Yeah,
Almost.
He's
2 months.
He's getting you out of that sleep every day. What did you say the other day? He doesn't close his eyes.
No, he does not. He just be staring.
He be sleep.
Eyes wide open.
Sleep with eyes wide open.
That's some Pinky and the Brain shit. Like, just coming up with a master plan to take over the world.
Big old eyes.
In this case, it's coming up with a master plan to terrorize his dad. That's funny. Let's see. Anything else on you good?
No, that's about it.
Hopefully I'll be good because
Yeah.
my computer will be fixed.
Yeah. Hope so.
Either that or I'm just, fuck it, I'll buy a new computer. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Let's see.
So it was National Daughter and Sons Day this past week.
Oh, we should have saved that for doper trash.
Maybe.
Why did you bring that up?
Because then I couldn't, because of my situation, I couldn't make the post.
Oh, yeah. Somebody actually posted, like, I'm going to make a national, there's a comic down in Portland. It has a non-binary kid and was like, I'm going to make a non-binary kid day.
Yeah. I was just like, oh. I was like, yeah, I don't know. They found Tupac's killer.
Okay. I don't know much about that story.
I don't know much about it either. I was looking at it right before the pod. I knew of it. I just found out about it. I don't know anything of it. I just was like, really? Like 28 years later?
So, yeah.
We're going to...
I don't know about that. Did you read about it?
Not fully.
No, did you read about it?
Nah, but I heard about it.
How did they know? I mean...
I need to read more up on about the evidence, but like it just seems like, man, what took so long? If there really was like I don't know.
I don't know. And what happened? I have mixed feelings about that. Like, how do you even prove that 28 years later?
Yeah, that's so much.
Because it's not like, so to be clear, it's not like a sex crime where there wasn't DNA evidence and now we have all this technology, or a murder where, you know, we couldn't, whatever. Like, you could, back then, you know, you couldn't figure out crimes because of the technology that didn't exist, and now it existed. So murders and things are getting solved that, you know, that are 30, 40, 50 years old. This was a shooting, though.
Yeah.
A wild shooting in the streets of Vegas. So how does that even work? I don't know. But, you know, if this is the person that, you know, took away arguably one of the greatest rappers of all times.
Yeah.
Actually, not arguably. He was one of the greatest rappers of all times. You know, I hope he has to atone for what he did.
Yeah.
If he did it, because both Tupac and Biggie were huge losses to hip hop.
Yeah.
You know, and it's weird. Hip hop's only 50 years old and they've been dead for 27 years out of that. Where would
we
they
still
be?
consider them the top, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like, you know, and you can argue one side or the other. We're not going to get into that.
Biggie
or whatever. You can name your five or however people do it.
They're definitely some of the GOATs, right?
Yeah.
And their music still, like, I still listen to All Eyes on Me on a regular basis.
Exactly.
Right? Or Life After Death, right? Like, either one. So they took away someone that was very loved and very respected and very talented. So
yeah. I just thought also it was, you know, thing. We're both wearing hip hop shirts once again.
Oh, I know. That's so funny.
So I had to bring up some kind of hip hop relevance.
Who's on your shirt?
That's Ghetto Boys. They're from Houston.
Oh, I know you didn't just say they're from Houston. Like, I don't know who the Ghetto Boys are.
Okay, I'm just making
Your
sure.
mind's playing tricks on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
that's a classic. Yeah.
This year Halloween is not following on a weekend.
Halloween does not follow on a weekend. That's such a good verse. I was once at a Bone Thugs and Harmony concert, and Bushwick Bill walks right by us.
Wow,
that was kind of cool.
He rocked right under you.
Yeah, pretty much. R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Yeah, and mine's kind of hard to see if you're watching the YouTube, but it's a Friends. It has Friends, like the Friends TV show, and it's got like Tupac and Biggie and Dr. Dre, Eazy-E.
Snoop.
Yeah, a bunch of people on it.
Okay.
Bunch of people on it.
That's cool.
So let's see, what else? What other topics did you want to talk about? Because I have some ideas, but
I don't know.
I would like to talk about effective communication.
Hey, okay.
I would like to talk about how I don't know that we've talked about this too much on the pod. And just to be clear, like I started listening to the pod because I realized I wanted to start assessing where we were with things and how the pod goes and how it sounds and whether we're, you know, it's funny because I always think I talk a lot. I mean, I do talk a lot, but you talk more than I realize.
Okay.
So sometimes I feel like, you need to talk more. And I still think that.
Yeah.
But I do think that there are times where, you know, you talk more than I think I remembered.
Okay.
And it's interesting listening to it so much later, right? Because we've been putting these out for a couple months now. So, so listening to the pod and learning from it and learning, you know, things that I would like to do differently or better or whatever. I don't know that one of the things that was brought up by Alyssa, your partner, it was not repeating ourselves, which I find it's kind of difficult, right? Because if you just pop into a podcast midway, you don't have context. So like when I'm casually mentioned my stabbing, people might be like, "What?"
Yeah.
So it's like listen to episode 2.
Right.
I'm not going to go back into all of that, right? But like if you listen to episode 2, you're gonna you will understand fully what I'm talking about. But I do think that oh, that's funny. I just noticed we're also both wearing Jordans, like completely different Jordans, but both Jordans. And I have real pants on today, which is very rare. Meaning I have jeans on, which normally I don't.
Yeah. Strong.
What?
Nothing.
What'd you say?
Tame strong?
Yeah, for real. Let's see. So I started listening to it, and I don't want to like repeat a bunch of stuff or hash out a bunch of stuff, rehash a bunch of stuff. But one of the things I don't think we've talked about too much is like the Seattle freeze.
Ooh. Okay.
So for context, there's I don't know what it is, a theory that people in Seattle are not that friendly.
Yeah.
And I've been here, I didn't mention this, but on September 23rd, I had been here 10 years.
Okay.
I moved here sort of on a whim, wanting to get out of California just to start sort of to change, right? I had never been to Washington, didn't know shit about it. I just had a friend that lived here who was like, you can get a job. I got a job before I even got here and I moved.
Yeah.
And I did not, I in a very ignorant way, assumed the West Coast was the West Coast. And I learned very quickly that it's not.
Right.
So the Seattle freeze is a concept that people are just not that friendly. And
I've heard different takes on that. It's like they consider like Seattle like transplant area, so that even though it's labeled the Seattle freeze, it's some part in transplants are that way too. But I've experienced it, but I've seen people that are from here that aren't that way also. I think in general you don't have that. Well, I mean, we have it, but I don't see it all the time.
I think we are a transplant area. We're heavy. We have a heavy immigrant population, especially in Seattle. I really cannot stand the way people drive here. Yeah. But I've learned over the years, I don't think it's like Seattle drivers. I think it's people from all over the country who have different driving styles. And then you put them all in one area and that creates chaos, right? So I think it is heavy on the transplants. But, and maybe this is not a Seattle thing, but I've had friendships or relationships with people that I've been friends with for years, and then you get into one fight, and then it's like that relationship never existed. And it's very weird. I've had, I don't know, I have friends from home that I grew up with that have been my friends for 30 years. Yeah. And I've had friends here for 3 and 4. And I don't mean like 6-month friendships. I mean 3, 4, 5 years. And then all of a sudden, it's like you never even mattered. Right. And I don't understand that. And that's where my communication topic comes in, because I've had 2 experiences in the last week. One actually happened last night. I showed up after I got back from the charity show I did. I went out to a spot where my boy Mike Brown was hosting like a little party at a place called the Coco Grill over by the Tacoma Dome. So it's a little tiny 1-room spot. And I walk in, and literally as I get to the door, this girl walks up to me like in my face and was like, "Hi, how are you? Do you remember me?" Now that said, I have I meet a lot of people. Yeah. Right? I meet a lot of people through politics. I met a ton of people through politics. I meet a lot of people through comedy. I'm just very social. And so I didn't recognize her. Right.
So you think that's the opposite of Seattle freeze and like too extreme?
No. Let me finish what happened. Yeah, okay. So she says, I'm not going to say her name, but she tells me her name. It's a very common name, right? Okay. And I'm just like, and then she tells me how she knows me. And she knows me from community. She knows me from a situation where her kids who are biracial were at a gas station, and they were just in there. It's their local corner gas station. And they were just in there, And the guy who worked there said like a bunch of racist shit to them.
Okay.
And they weren't doing anything. They weren't stealing anything. They were just in there like grabbing snacks, right? And when she posted it online, I did some like activism around it. And like we posted some stuff about that store and like, you know, should we be supporting that store if they're going to call, you know, black kids, you know, the N-word or whatever. And we became friends through that, but we also realized we knew other people and we became friends. Now, the thing is, she had like, she's lost a bunch of weight. So she didn't look like the person I knew.
Okay.
So that's one of the reasons I didn't recognize her.
Okay.
If I saw the old her, I would have known who she was right away. So the reason I didn't recognize her is because she literally looked like a completely
It had
different
been
person.
some time too, right? Like
It's been years.
Okay.
But the thing is, we had become friends. She invited me to her son's high school graduation. Like, I really loved her daughter, whatever. But then she stopped talking to me. And she's a very private person. She kind of has a wall around her. Plus, she's a single mom. She has lots of stuff going on in her life. She works, whatever. So, like, during the pandemic, really, she just stopped talking to me. And I even reached out to her, like, hey, are we good? Didn't hear anything. So I didn't push it. It was weird, though, because she was like, you stopped talking to me. And I was like, no, I didn't. And because I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
You know? So it was a very weird interaction. I still have her number on my phone. So, you know, same number. I texted her. She texted me this morning. We've been talking. We're like, we want our friendship back. Because she even said last night, I don't make friends. And you were one of my friends. I thought we were friends. And I'm like, we were. Until you stopped talking to me. I don't think she even realized her impact, right?
Such a... You saw it one way and she saw it the other way.
Absolutely.
And it just,
but I mean,
sucks.
she's off of Facebook.
Right.
So she wasn't using her real name, so I can't go back and find that. But if I could find her real old conversation, you can see.
Yeah.
Like where I reached out to her and I never heard back.
Okay.
Not that it matters who's right, but I'm I know that I reached out to her at the time. So communication is big, you know? And then there's another situation where, I'm not going to name names, but like, someone who's kind of new to my life that we kind of got into it and we bumped heads about some things. And even though we're new in each other's lives, I think we knew that we valued each other. And so, you know, we had a couple days where we didn't talk. And then one person reached out to the other person and they were like, hey, do you want to talk? And then eventually we talked and we were just like, we just worked through whatever we had to work through. And we're like, we want to be friends. We see a lot in each other. We respect each other. We see our similarities. We see our differences. And we want to be friends. And we got past that.
Yeah.
And those two experiences really come down to communication.
Yeah.
And communication styles are different or whatever, but
I think it's with anything. Like, it's one of my biggest pet peeves. like I'll say it, not relationship wise. I freaking ordered something online. Now I'm feeling I got scammed because they don't fucking communicate.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like,
I'm really careful about where I order online because that happens so often.
You know, I'm like, answer me. Just do something. Just tell me. Do I need it? You know, whatever. Just in general. Or what's another one that's happened like that? I don't know. I don't want to. Yeah, there's too much. There too much that I would reveal, and I don't want to say. But I'll reach out to someone and then not hear nothing, and you're just like, okay, like either tell me to fuck off or like what.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's communication has evolved over the years.
Yeah,
you know, there's. Do you prefer texting or calling?
That's me too. And I know I can fail at the same time. I'm not sitting here pointing fingers at everybody. I know I can be guilty of the same thing, you know, and that I despise. You know, just keep. I
mean, I like texting more than I like talking on the phone.
I do too, and
by a lot.
Yeah, I have a buddy that's his first thing to do, and I'm like. Sometimes I'm in the middle of something and I'm like, bro.
I for me, when I have people like that in my life, if I'm not in a space where I can, you know, where I can talk, I will text them and be like, this is what I'm doing. I will call you back. And I will call them back. Like, I don't force them to text.
Yeah.
Because it's nice to respect each other's communication styles, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, when I say communication, it's a broad topic, right? Because that's communication styles versus choosing to communicate. I just feel like the two experiences that I had this week were so different and were good examples of like how communication or a lack of it can really change your life, right? Like I felt like I lost this woman forever and I never understood what I did. And that's why in some ways I wish I could go back and find that message, because I thought she was upset at me and I asked her, like, did I do something? And then I don't know what she said. I don't remember, but like, I wish I could go back and look at that. And now her perspective is that like, I just disappeared. Excuse me. Which I didn't, I left her alone because I thought that's what she wanted, right? Versus the other person who I'm less invested and I know far less, but I know that they're a person I want to know. I know they're a person that I can, that I believe that I will care about deeply over time. Yeah. And so it was worth it to have that conversation. And even within that issue, you know, we had a disagreement on some things and things got awkward and weird. And then when that person reached out to me actually and said, hey, can we talk? Even the tone of their text, I said, look, this feels very, very authoritative, basically. Right. And I'm not comfortable with that. Right. I don't have the space for that. Like, if you want to talk about really trying to solve things, sometimes when people say, let's talk, it's because they just want to continue making their point. Yeah. And I'm like, I want to resolve it, right? And that's how it ended up working out, in a very casual way, in a very natural way. But it was worth it because I don't want to have, like, I want to have a relationship with that person. And I want to be able to pursue that further. And I just wish there was more of that, because that weird Seattle freeze or ghosting, and that's not just the Seattle freeze. I mean, that's the epitome of ghosting. It's just not communicating with people, and it sucks. And I wish more people could just, I don't like using the term be adult, but like be emotionally mature enough to say, okay, maybe I fucked up, maybe you fucked up. Yeah. Maybe we're not on the same page. Let's learn about each other and grow.
I mean, over time, I've done that in parenting, you know. Yeah. I've fucked up parenting, and then, or we have a spat with Katie or Trey or whatever, and just being like, all right, let's sit down and, you know, talk, let's talk this shit out. You know, like, this is not good for us.
Do you admit when you're a bad parent? Yeah. Yeah. Me too. Yeah. I mean, Sam doesn't, because of Samantha's like cognitive level, she doesn't understand sort of, I think, when we have those conversations about when I'm like, oh, I could have done better. Yeah. But there are definitely times where I will get on her head and I'll realize that I'm getting on her head at a time or a space or a topic that's not really within her capacity, you know, and I pushed her too hard. So I try and break it down in a way that she'll understand, and I'll be like, I'm sorry that we fought. Like, I'm sorry that I got mad at you, or I'm sorry, whatever. This is what I could do better. And then I try and teach her to think about what she could do differently, you know? Because a lot of the arguments that we have at our house are the same argument over and over and over, you know? And so it's constantly trying to have a conversation with her about how to do better next time. But when I screw up because I'm too hard on her, I do try and admit that. Yeah. And she doesn't have the cognitive ability to hold that over in my head. You know what I'm saying? It
sucks, but kind of good. But also,
I mean, it's lucky for me, I guess, in some ways. But I'm also not unfair I try not to be unfair to her, because when I fuck up, I still say I'm sorry if I fucked up. Where Katie would be like, let me Rolodex all the shit you did, Dad, and pull it up later. Yeah. Sam doesn't have, I mean, she does. She has a Rolodex, trust me, but it's not anywhere near as extensive because of her disability. So I think it's important to communicate. I just wish that people communicated differently. Yeah. You know, I mean, by the time that this airs, you know, we'll be long past a bunch of stuff that has happened. But, you know, even online, having beef online, you know, I've had some issues recently that I've let go with people. but I've had some issues that got very ugly. And part of it was because of the way people communicate, you know, and online makes it easy to cut a snippet out of something and create a narrative. And I think that's trash, you know. But I just wish people but those issues wouldn't have even occurred if people communicated differently. Right. You know, if people just talk to each other instead of being, you know, keyboard warriors and shit. Yeah,
like Katie was. This is funny how this topic got brought. But Katie was talking about this morning, having issues at work, and like their supervisor is like communicating to the group or whatever about little issues. When there's a bigger, broader issue, they don't have enough people to cover stuff. Right. Or when Katie had communicated a couple weeks ago that they had some sick time and they never communicated to them or answered had a response. Right. But then they want some kind of communication. It's so just funny. I don't know.
I just think if we were all more mindful about how we communicate. Yeah. And also if we respected that other people communicate differently. I know in my marriage, my first marriage, I'm someone that if we have an argument, I'm not that way anymore. But I used to very much be someone that was like, if we have an argument, I want to just deal with it and get over with. I don't let things go. Like, I need some resolve. It takes a lot for me to just pretend like shit didn't happen or move on without any kind of resolve. But I used to want to resolve things like right now. Yeah. And I learned from him, from my first husband, like, he worked at a bank, but he loved cars, like Mustangs. And we always had like 3 Mustangs, and he would part out one and build whatever. Right. So he was in the garage a lot. So when we would argue, he would go in the garage and hide out. And at first I would follow him and I would be like, no, you're not running away. We're having this conversation. Let's deal with it, whatever. And I realized if I just let him go out there, like that never made it better. No. Right. I was also like 30. Right. But now over time, I realized if I let him go out there and I let him just be in his own head, process, he's always going to come back. We're always going to have the conversation. So everybody communicates differently. It would just be nice if people communicated more. And going back to the original, thing I brought up about the Seattle freeze, it's not just about Seattle people doing things. Yeah. I wish if you care about somebody, why would you let them walk away? Why would you let them go? Like, if it's a toxic relationship, that's different. Yeah. Friendship or partner, intimate partner, whatever. But if it's something you can get over, something you can get through, something you can get beyond, try to. And I've noticed that some people are just like, oh, it's too much, and they walk away without any effort. Yeah. And it just feels I'm more of a exhausting. I'll admit I'm more of like I need to walk away at that moment. Yeah. But I have the inkling to, hey, I got to come back and address this situation. And I think that's what matters. Yeah. But it's, to me, communicating about how you communicate is also important. Yeah. And I know that might sound silly, but like when I date people now, I often ask them, how do you handle conflict? Yeah. Because if you're my age and you haven't even thought about that, that's a problem in and of itself. Yeah. But I want to know, are you the kind of person that doesn't let shit go and we're going to have a fight to the death? Because that's not healthy. No. Are you a person that will walk away, process, and come back? Do you want to sleep on it overnight? Like, you should have enough self-awareness to know how you communicate. Yeah, at our age, we should know how we are. We should. And we should also know, I fuck up in this area all the time, but I try and, give me some grace in this area or whatever. But it's something I ask in dating all the time now is, how do you handle conflict? What do you do? Yeah. Because if you haven't thought that out, or you don't have a way to communicate, or you want to fight to the death, that just ends up in hurt feelings and unresolved issues that then you hold against each other, and that's no good. And I think the opposite, if you shelter in and turtle in and you don't say nothing and you don't vocalize your thoughts that are hurting from the other person, that causes resentment. It causes resentment too. For sure. So just some things to think about, just some things that were heavy on my mind and something that, like, you know, maybe our listeners can think about.
I'm glad you communicated that in the best way. No, but seriously, no, really, I do. I'm glad.
Nuq, do you have any thoughts on this issue?
No.
Mr. I don't like communicating with anyone. Is your house very quiet?
No, I'm the quiet one. Everybody in my house is loud.
Everybody else is doing some shit, and you're just like, I'm here. Holler at me if you need me. I'm reading a comic book in the corner right now.
That sounds like me here.
I can't even imagine. I mean, obviously, like, we only see you here, but, like, I don't know. Do you and your wife fight? Like, I can't imagine you getting elevated in emotion too much. You're so chill.
I mean, she's the only one that I get there with, but yeah.
So you two will get into it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But you guys have been married for a long time, so.
Yeah. Must be doing something right.
Yeah, I mean, you're figuring it out, but that's interesting. Have you always been that way?
Quiet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I wish I could be more reserved sometimes. It's just not in me.
Yeah.
It's just not who I am. It's just not who I am. All right. Dope or trash?
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to communicate on communication before we do dope or trash?
No, okay. That was a very good overall topic. I liked it.
I mean, I just hope that our listeners think about, when we're just talking about topics, current events are cool. But like this episode's coming out, so a couple weeks later. So
and they're always going to be coming out later than what they are. So
right.
It's
like we're not so anal about the podcast that like we want to put it out every single week on time in the week that we're in. Like our schedules don't allow for that.
Yeah.
So I started thinking about other topics that we can talk about that are kind of universal and not connected to a timeline.
Yeah.
So that's where I came up with that thought. But all right, dope or trash.
Well, I know I alluded to it, but I do think I want to bring up that topic again.
What?
The fact that there's a National Sons Day, a National Daughter Day, but there's not. Why do we even have those as it is? We already have. I don't know. And then now I'm stuck within this.
So are they dope or trash? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, let's just do that.
I think all these days are stupid for the most part. National Taco Day, National Slinky Day, National Crocs Day, like National, Left-Handers Day. I don't understand them. I think they're dumb.
I don't remember the stuff as a kid. Having this money.
Who made them up?
Yeah.
I think how do you even celebrate them? Like, it's just, it just categorizes us more like, it's kind of like, bringing your partner flowers on their birthday or your anniversary. That's cool. But you can also bring them flowers on a Tuesday in May. Right. You know what I'm saying? And their birthday's in November. Like, I don't know. I think all of these days are weird. All these unofficial holidays like National Pretzel Day and what the fuck?
Yeah. It gets a little too much, man.
I think if you love your kid, you should be... You have the opportunity to highlight them whenever you want on social media.
Yeah. Because that's what it comes down to. That's what it is.
I mean, I think a lot of these a lot of these came from advertising. I think a lot of them is capitalism.
Yeah.
National Chili Dog Day is definitely Wiener Schnitzel. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I can imagine. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You decide that, July 17th is national... national. What did we just have? National Hamburger Day the other day, right? So I don't know. If July 17th is National, I was going to say Slurpee Day, but I guess that's 7-Eleven. Yeah, exactly my point.
Yeah.
Right?
That makes ish sense, but
7-Eleven, that's still a marketing tool.
Yeah, it's a marketing thing.
But it's also very in alignment with what we're talking. Like, it's very in alignment with the brand of 7-Eleven, right? Because it's July 11th. But most of these other things are, I don't know, they're weird. And National Daughter Day and Sunday, like, you can post a picture of Katie any day you want to and be like, this is my kid.
Yeah.
There
I might just do it.
I mean, because we don't actually celebrate them either. Yeah. The only way that I see that they're really celebrated is by somebody putting a picture of some shit online
Yeah.
and some discount somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chili dogs are buy one, get one free on National Chili Dog Day. Like, it's all, a lot of this stuff
Right.
comes from marketing. So
Yeah.
I think it's trash.
I think it's trash as well.
I think all of those days are trash for the most part.
You can eat tacos on a Wednesday, man.
It's true. It is true. There are people that eat tacos on Thursday at mornings. Usually, well, they're hungover, but I mean, yes, it's, I don't know, all these weird labels and stuff. I don't have the energy to keep up with them either. So, what you think, Nuq?
So trash. But I don't really celebrate like the big holidays either. So holidays in general is just kind of.
Not for you. That's fair. That's fair. I have a few. Let's see. I think this is a good one. VIP experiences with stars. So if you go to a comedy show or you go to a concert, paying like an exorbitant amount of money to like take a picture, meet them, like meet and greets, things like that. Like paying all this extra money to be able to meet someone that you think is dope.
I think it would be dope. I never had that opportunity, so I don't know. But also, I don't know. I say dope.
Really?
I don't say dope. But
What do you think, Nuq?
I mean, I think that's cool. We do that at like Comic-Con to be like the actors and the artists and stuff, the voiceover artists and everything.
You pay extra money to meet them?
Define me, because I don't do that. But my wife will, like, if she sees somebody there that she knows I like, she'll just buy it, and even no matter what I say.
So she pays extra money for you to be able to be in a small group of people and interact with that person?
Not even a small group, just one-on-one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, when I say small group of people, I mean like only a few people get to do that. Like they have only 100 people can do the meet and greet or whatever, right? So she will do that for you so you can meet that person that you like.
Yeah, she's real big on spending money.
I mean, wife. I think it's in the handbook. I haven't looked at it in a while, but I'm pretty sure it's still in the handbook. Yeah, I don't know. I have mixed feelings. I feel like there's a level of like exclusivity attached to that. I feel like if you're paying, $60 to go to a comedy show and then they're paying another $150 to take a picture with that person, I don't know. I feel like
I think the money amount's got to be at least somewhat appropriate, not to be over.
I have mixed feelings. I mean, I used to do it. I mean, I definitely did it for concerts. Like I would pay for like VIP experiences and concerts and stuff. I just feel like it's very elitist too. I don't know, but I also know, that let's just use comedy, right? So you have a show at Nate's.
Okay.
And that place is packed and there's 280 people. The comic can't stay there for 280 pictures, right? So I guess I do understand why they have them, but I do feel like, man, there might be somebody in that audience that just is like that person's biggest fan, but can't afford it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of sad for them.
Yeah. I get that.
So I guess I have mixed. I guess it's mid for me.
Yeah. It makes me think about like I got to meet like Gabriel Iglesias when he was early on. Like I have a picture with him like when he was like at the Houston Improv, which was probably smaller than TCC but bigger than Six and Proctor, kind of in between ish. And then he did a meet and greet afterwards, but he did meet and greet for everybody. It wasn't elitist. You had to pay more. You just had to spend your time and stay, and you might have to wait in the whole line, but that's it. And we got a picture.
Yeah, I guess I'm mid.
Yeah,
it's mixed feelings. Like it's cool if you can do it, but like, what if you can't afford it? And then it kind of sucks for other people.
Yeah.
Also, I just hope that those people that are getting paid off of their celebrity also, when they see people like, at dinner, that they're kind to them too.
Yeah.
You know, that they're not that elite. But I don't know. Maybe it'll change when people want to take pictures of me one day. I don't know. Maybe I'll be like, that's $30, ma'am.
I see the size of it. Don't bug me when I'm at dinner, and I won't bug you, or vice versa if I was famous. But also, don't be too hoity-toity to be like, you know, acknowledge your fans. That's what got you there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
That's part of it. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. All right, you have another one?
Christmas decorations already in stores.
Trash.
Trash. We don't even have to.
It's September 30th.
It's September 30th.
Costco probably has trees right now. 100%.
Yeah.
Costco has trees.
It's like, can we get Halloween? And can we do some? I'm like, at least wait till after Halloween. It's already early enough when it's right after Halloween. We don't even celebrate Thanksgiving. Not that you buy anything really for Thanksgiving, but like, we don't really celebrate it. What do you think, Nuk?
Trash.
Yes.
No, look, man. My wife's one of them Christmas people. I will not let her do anything until at least December 1st. Give me that. We don't need to be doing all this decorating and stuff in general until it's time to do that. Why? For what?
I mean, it's just marketing.
Yeah.
It's boo.
Capitalism.
It's whack.
It's boo.
It is just capitalism, right?
Yeah.
No me gusta.
Because as soon as the new year comes, you see fucking Valentine's Day shit.
Yeah.
Now you feel pressure, like, oh, do I have a Valentine? What do I need to do?
Everything.
God,
I know. Every year.
I just think it's trash, and I think it happens earlier every year. So, you know, Sam works at TJ Maxx,
Okay.
and she's almost 3 years in there, and so she'll be like, Mom, why is there Christmas stuff? It's so stupid. Like, it's funny.
She's right. It is
I know. I know she is. I know. Yeah, trash. Okay. Nuk, do you have any dope or trash?
No.
I've been meaning to ask you if you have anything to contribute. Well, if you ever do have one, let us know. Okay, I won't make this one. Okay. Cat backpacks. Those backpacks that have the bubble on them, and then people put their cats in them. You never seen that?
I've never seen those.
What? Hold on, everybody. We're going to have to put a picture of this in there.
That's crazy.
How have you never seen that?
No.
Oh, my God. Sam wants one so bad. They're so dumb. First of all, we have big-ass cats. And if you're the manager of my apartment complex, we don't have any cats.
I like that. They're see-through?
Well, yeah, that's the point.
That's so trash. I don't even
We'll have to put a picture.
Yeah,
we'll
I don't even know, you know, whether it would have been a dog or a cat, like carrying your dog around or carrying your cat around is just
I think the purpose is you can't really walk a cat, right? Most cats are hard to walk. So, yeah, that's trash.
Yeah.
I think they're weird as fuck. But like I've seen like ferrets and other things in there too. But like, why? Cats don't want to be out. Like cats are home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, if cats are out, they want to do their own thing, right?
Yeah,
outdoor cats.
Yeah.
Outdoor cats disappear and come back when they want to and whatever.
We have
right?
this like one devil cat in the neighborhood. Like it has this like devil looking face.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I think it's trash. I think they're funny. I just wonder, like, does your cat like that? I don't know. I think they're weird. Whatever. I just saw one recently, and I was like, what the? I don't get it. Whatever. People are weird about their animals, though. What do you think? No.
Trash. You're being silly. You're being silly. Knock it off.
Knock it off.
Knock it off. No, just knock it off.
Let's see. One more?
I don't know if I have one more.
You know?
I don't think I have one more right now.
What?
I'm not good at these. That's why I'm hoping listeners send them to me. Allison's really good at it. So send me some suggestions.
Wow. Actually, after this, we can do a video and put it on our thing to just ask people to send us dope or trash.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I won't do anymore. I'll wait.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Well. So remember, we don't know when we're putting this out at
I
this
have
point.
no idea where we're putting it up.
Sometime in October.
Sometime.
So what do you have coming up?
Well, I have something coming up tonight, which is obviously this is way posted. We're having our first show at Big Time Brewery. That
Yeah, by the time you hear this, we're gonna have had one or maybe even two shows at Big Time Brewery. That my production side, I'm Fine Entertainment. Big Time Breweries in the U District in Seattle.
I'm excited about it. I've never performed in U District.
It's a cool little brewery, and then they have a back room. We're selling tickets to it. Seattle's very weird about that stuff. Like I've sold like 5 or 6 tickets. Hopefully they'll be. The room's only like 30 people, so
Okay.
if we get 20 people, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
I have a budget, so it's like
Gotcha.
it's not hitting my pockets really, but I would love for the room to be full, and I'm hoping that we can do it for I have 4 months planned. So
Got it.
by the time you hear this, if it's before the 28th of October, well, the one that we're doing tonight, September 30th, headliners Vanessa Dawn, and then Keon Larry's featuring in your opening. I'm hosting October 28th. J.R. Berard is our headliner, and then in November 18th, Gretchen Hahn, and December 16th, Narn Van. Those are our headliners. So keep an eye out. On my social media, I have multiple social medias, right? I have my personal one. I have Allie Real Funny AF, which is my comedy one. We also have the pod.
Yeah.
Old Heads Young Mind pod. It's OHYM pod on social media. And then I have an I'm Fine ENT.
Yeah.
So check it out on pretty much any of those. I post them on a lot of them. So come check out, we're gonna have done our show tonight, but I do have shows coming up.
Then we're doing next Friday, which is also we'll be
Right.
or before we're doing for a show for Juan Forno at Jillbox Theater.
Do you have anything coming up at the end of October that you know of? Or in November?
No, I don't.
Okay, so you're still.
I'm taking kind of a easy break in October. I do have a trip going to Kentucky for a wedding, so I kind of was like trying not to pack too much stuff up this month.
You're going to be back by the time this airs, probably, right? When are you going up?
Yeah, I might be back. I'm going the 20th weekend, whatever that is.
Yeah, so this will come out either the 18th or the 25th, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if not, RIP to my computer. So this is coming out end of October, and I have not announced this, but by the time this comes out, it will have been announced. I'm going to announce it in the next couple of days, but a couple months ago, I was at Nate Jackson's. I met a Canadian comic named Sterling Scott. He is one of the top comedians in Canada. 2014, he actually placed 3rd in the Seattle International Comedy Competition.
Nice.
2019, he actually won the San Francisco International Comedy Competition. And when we met at Nate's, he was headlining for a showcase event there. And he just took a liking to me, thought I was funny. And I am actually going to Canada from November 11th through November 20th.
Get your passport
I'm doing 8 days. You don't need a passport.
Oh, really?
I have a passport, yes.
Okay.
But I have an enhanced license.
Okay.
So to get to Canada, that's really all I need. But I will bring my passport.
Yeah.
So I'm doing 8 days with one of the biggest comedians in Canada. I don't even know what shows we're doing. Like, I know we're doing some corporate work. I think we're doing some club work, maybe. I don't know. I really don't know.
Oh, cool.
But it's amazing. Like, his philosophy is like, I want you to come up here so people can see you. They will love you and they will bring you back. And that's amazing. First of all, that's the kind of shit I would do, right? Like, that's what I did with Melanie, basically. And Melanie's a much more experienced comic, but she came out here and I booked her on all those shows. Shout out to Melanie Hearn, who, was one of our guests. So she could test this market. And now she's made connections. She wants to come back. Hopefully she'll be able to get in some clubs and things. And that's what he's doing for me.
That's awesome.
And that is phenomenal. So by the time this comes out, I'll be
An international comedian.
No, not yet, but
yeah.
it'll in a couple weeks from whenever this airs.
What you perform, it's an internet.
It'll be dope. No, I'm just saying timing wise. This comes out end of October. I'm going in November, so I'll be going to Canada soon. And I would be like, come see me, but like I don't know anybody from Canada. But like if Justin Bieber is there or Drake. Come check me out, Alberta.
Celine Dion.
I'll be in, right? Celine Dion ain't doing shit. Come through, sis. Yeah, that'll be awesome.
That's
and
cool. I'm really proud of you, and I'm happy for you.
I am.
That's dope.
I'm overwhelmed by the opportunity. To be honest, I'm 2 years in. These are things that don't happen for 4 or 5 years to people. But it's karma, I believe. I do a lot of things for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it's nice to get an opportunity in return. So I'm excited about it. What else do I have in November? I don't know. Oh, 25th of November. 24th of November, I'm going to be, oh shit.
No, it is the 25th. It's the 25th, the Federal Way, Casey McLean, and Gabriel.
Yeah, so the 24th, I'm going to be in Bellingham with Nikki Kilpatrick doing Afterglow, which is really cool. So that's the day after Thanksgiving. And then the 25th, I'm hosting for Gabriel Rutledge, which is the biggest comedian from the Pacific Northwest. Well, him and Brad Upton probably, but, Gabriel Rutledge is phenomenal. So I hope you all come and see him on the 25th. I'll put ticket links and wherever. But yeah, so that's what's going on. And then my daughter's birthday's 11/10. And then we have Thanksgiving, which I'm sure we'll probably do Thanksgiving. Yeah. The last couple of years I've spent at least part of Thanksgiving with Rob. And then part with my other half of my family. So, and my mom might be in town. So
shout out to Nancy.
Shout out to my mama. All right. So that's that. Anything else before we go?
No.
I think our next episode after this will probably be a guest. We have a lot of guests that we want to include. So
and we're hoping to get some more guests. And send us your dope or trash, and send us if you want to be a guest.
Yeah,
maybe
we're looking for any guest ideas, dope or trash, sponsors. So. I think that's it. I hope your October's going great.
Yeah, I do too.
All right. Old heads, young minds. We out.
Peace.
Peace.